Every time you hit snooze, you're not just delaying your alarm, you're delaying your life. The moment you silence that alarm, you silence your potential. You know that tiny moment in the morning when your alarm goes off and your brain whispers just 5 more minutes? That's not just comfort talking, that's resistance. That's the gap between the life you have and the life you want. Because here's the truth. Every time you hit snooze, you're telling yourself your dreams can wait. You're saying your goals, your purpose, your growth can all wait, but success doesn't wait. Momentum doesn't wait. Life doesn't wait. The world belongs to those who decide to wake up and own it. The first decision you make every day, to get up or stay in bed, sets the tone for every other decision you'll make that day. And if you start your morning by breaking a promise to yourself, you carry that energy with you everywhere you go. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being in control. Why? Stop hitting snooze. You're not just waking up earlier. You're waking up to your power. You're reclaiming your focus, your energy, and your belief that you are capable of showing up for yourself no matter how you feel. Let's talk about 5 powerful steps that will help you stop hitting snooze and start taking full control of your day and your life. The moment your alarm goes off is not just a signal to wake up. It's the first decision that defines who you're going to be that day. Most people underestimate how powerful that small choice is. They think it's just a few extra minutes of sleep, but it's much deeper than that. It's about identity, discipline, and momentum. When you hit snooze, you're sending a message to your subconscious that your comfort matters more than your commitment. You start your day with avoidance, not action. You tell yourself, I'll do it later, and that pattern follows you through every decision for the rest of the day. But when you rise at the first sound of that alarm, you're not just getting out of bed, you're making a statement. You're saying, I keep promises to myself. I do what I said I would do. And that energy stays with you. Every single morning gives you a chance to build or break your self-trust. Think about it. How many times have you told yourself you'll wake up early, only to talk yourself out of it the moment it gets uncomfortable? Each time that happens, your brain records it as evidence that your words mean less than your feelings. That's why it becomes so hard to follow through. You've trained yourself to doubt your own intentions. But it can change the moment you decide that your first decision of the day will be a victory, not a surrender. When you act on discipline instead of emotion, something powerful shifts inside you. You begin to realize that motivation is unreliable, but momentum is everything. When you get up immediately, you're not relying on inspiration or willpower, you're relying on the truth you are stronger than the voice of comfort in your head. The first 10 seconds after your alarm goes off are critical. That's when your brain tries to negotiate. It will say things like, I'll just rest my eyes, or I need more sleep. But what it's really saying is, I want to stay comfortable. And comfort, as harmless as it seems, is what kills momentum. Success doesn't come from comfort, it comes from consistent, small acts of courage. And getting up when you said you would is one of those acts. The moment you choose action over hesitation, you feel an immediate sense of pride. You might still be tired, but you're already winning. You've taken control of your day before it even began. That energy compounds. It affects how you talk to yourself, how you handle challenges, how you show up for others. One decision creates a ripple effect. You start the day with self-respect instead of guilt, with power instead of regret. You realize that you don't need to wait for the perfect morn to take control. You just need to take control of the morning you have. And that single decision made in the quiet before the world wakes up is what separates the people who wish from the people who win. The way you talk to yourself in the morning shapes everything that follows. Most people open their eyes and immediately start feeding their mind with negative thoughts. I'm so tired. I didn't sleep enough. I don't want to do this. Those words might seem harmless, but they set the emotional temperature for your entire day. The brain believes whatever it hears most often, and if the first thing you feed it is exhaustion and frustration, it will find ways to prove those feelings right. You'll drag through the morning, convince yourself that you're not ready, and end up repeating the same pattern tomorrow. The cycle keeps you stuck in a loop where your thoughts dictate your energy, instead of your energy shaping your thoughts. The good news is, you can break that loop by simply changing your morning story. When your alarm rings, you have a split second before your old script starts playing. That's the moment to rewrite it. Instead of focusing on tiredness, shift your attention to gratitude and readiness. Say to yourself, I'm awake, I'm capable, I can handle this day. You don't have to feel it immediately. That's not the point. The point is to give your mind new instructions. Words are commands, and when you speak with intention, you give your brain a new mission to follow. Over time, those new sentences become your default setting. You begin to wake up with energy instead of excuses because you've trained your mind to look forward, not backward. The morning is not just about what you do physically, it's about what you believe mentally. If you tell yourself that waking up early is painful, it will be. If you tell yourself that the morning is an opportunity, it becomes one. Your brain is listening all the time, building your identity from the language why. Use. So if you constantly say, I'm not a morning person, you're building a wall between who you are and who you could become. But when you start saying, I'm learning to own my mornings, you're tearing that wall down. You're not lying to yourself. You're leading yourself. Changing your morning story doesn't require motivation, it requires awareness. The next time that wave of tiredness hits, don't let it control the narrative. Replace it with something empowering. Even something as simple as taking a deep breath and saying, let's go, can flip the switch. The brain responds to movement and direction. When you pair new thoughts with new action, you rewire your patterns. Eventually, the resistance fades, and what once felt like effort becomes natural. Your words are energy, and that energy either fuels you or drains you. You can start your day as your biggest critic or your own coach. You get to decide which voice wins. The story you tell yourself when you wake up becomes the foundation of your day, your habits, and ultimately your identity. Change the story and you'll change the way you live each morning and the way you live your entire life. How you start your morning physically determines how your mind performs throughout the day. Movement is the fastest way to shift your energy and change your emotional state. Most people think they need to feel motivated before they move, but the truth is, movement creates motivation. The moment you push your body to act, your mind follows. When you get out of bed and stretch, take a walk, do a few push-ups, or even just stand tall and breathe deeply, you send a powerful signal to your brain that it's time to wake up, focus, and take charge. Your physiology directly affects your psychology. If you stay curled up under the covers, your body tells your brain that it's still resting time. But when you move with purpose, your body tells your brain that it's time to perform. The first few minutes after waking up are a gold. An opportunity to reset your mental and emotional state. If you grab your phone right away, you hand your attention to the world before you've even centered yourself. You start reacting instead of creating. But if you give yourself even 5 minutes to move your body, walk, stretch, or breathe, you reclaim control. You're saying to yourself, I start my day on my terms. That small action might seem insignificant, but it changes everything. It sets the tone of self-leadership, confidence, and energy. And once your body starts moving, your brain begins releasing chemicals that elevate your mood. Dopamine for motivation, serotonin for happiness, and endorphins for energy. People often underestimate how much power they have to change their emotional state instantly through motion. Think about it. When you're slouched, yawning, and dragging your feet, your mind mirrors that posture, slow, unfocused, unmotivated. But when you straighten your back, breathe deeply, and take strong steps, your brain interprets that as confidence and readiness. You don't have to wait for confidence to appear. You create it through movement. It's not about doing an intense workout or having a perfect routine. It's about doing something that signals to your brain, I'm up, I'm ready, let's go. The more consistently you move in the morning, the more your brain begins to associate waking up with energy instead of resistance. That's how habits form, through repetition and association. Over time, your body starts to crave that movement because it remembers how good it feels to begin the day with momentum. It becomes your anchor, your ritual of power. You start to realize that you don't need the perfect conditions to feel alive, you just need to move. Even on days when you feel tired or unmotivated, taking one small physical action, standing up, stretching, or walking outside, can flip your entire mindset. Your morning movement is not just about fitness, it's about ownership. It's a declaration that you're in control of how you feel, no matter how you slept or what challenges lie ahead. It's a reminder that you have the ability to generate your own energy, to create your own momentum, and to take charge of your day before the world even asks anything from you. Most people start their mornings reacting to the world instead of creating their own world. The first thing they do after waking up is grab their phone. They scroll through messages, emails, social media, news, letting other people's words and problems fill their mind before they've even taken a breath for themselves. Without realizing it, they hand away their peace, their focus, and their control. The tone of their day is dictated by notifications, opinions, and noise. But the truth is, your mind is like fresh clay in the morning. It's soft, moldable, and ready to take shape. Whatever you feed it first becomes the foundation of your mindset. That's why protecting your mornings from digital chaos isn't just a nice habit. It's a necessity for clarity, confidence, and focus. When you start your day in silence, reflection, or intention, you give your brain space to connect with what truly matters. You move from reaction to creation. Taking even 10 minutes without your phone gives your mind room to breathe. It allows you to wake up to your own thoughts, not everyone else's expectations. You can think about what you want for the day, not what the world wants from you. That mental space is where self-awareness grows. It's where focus begins. Instead of being pulled in 1,000 directions, you start grounded and aligned with your purpose. That sense of calm and control in the first few minutes of your day is what sets leaders, achievers, and creators apart from those who drift aimlessly through their mornings. Protecting your focus doesn't mean isolating yourself, it means setting boundaries. You don't have to avoid your phone forever. Just delay it long enough to take charge of your mind and set first. Create a simple rule. For the first 30 minutes after waking up, no screen, no scroll, no noise. Use that time to do something that fuels you. Stretch, drink water, write down your goals, or simply breathe. It's not about perfection, it's about presence. When you start with presence, you move through your day with purpose instead of pressure. You stop being a passenger in your own life and start driving it. The way you spend the first moments of your day tells your brain what kind of day it will be. If you fill it with noise, you'll spend the rest of it chasing focus. But if you fill it with clarity, you'll move through the day with confidence and intention. The quiet space you create in the morning is where your best ideas form, where your goals become clearer, and where your sense of control grows stronger. Every time you resist the urge to pick up your phone, you strengthen your ability to focus, to lead, and to stay grounded in a distracted world. It's a small act of discipline that pays massive dividends. Your morning attention is your most valuable asset. Protect it like your success depends on it, because it does. Success doesn't happen in huge, dramatic moments. It happens in the quiet consistency of small, intentional actions repeated every single day. Your mornings are the foundation of that consistency. Every time you wake up and choose to follow through with your morning routine, even when you don't feel like it, you're building the muscle of self-discipline. Discipline is not about doing big things once in a while. It's about doing the right things, especially when you don't feel like it. When you practice consistency every morning, you begin to reprogram your mind to trust yourself. You start proving, through action, that your goals are not just wishes, they are commitments. And that trust becomes the driving force behind every success that follows. When you repeat positive habits daily, waking up on time, avoiding distractions, moving your body, or setting intentions, you're not just completing tasks, you're wiring new patterns in your brain. The more you repeat a behavior, the stronger the neural pathway becomes. Over time, what once required effort becomes automatic. That's how lasting change happens. Most people fail not because they lack ability, but because they lack consistency. They expect motivation to do the work for them, but motivation fades. Consistency, however, builds identity. Every small act of discipline you perform reinforces the belief that you are capable, resilient, and in control. That belief is far more powerful than any burst of motivation. Think about how many people start their mornings with good intentions, to eat healthy, to exercise, to read, to meditate, but give up after a few days because they don't see instant results. The truth is, results don't come from doing something once. They come from doing it long enough for the compound effect to take over. Just like water shapes row. Through constant flow, your small actions shape your future through repetition. Each morning you stick to your plan, you're casting a vote for the person you want to become. And even when it feels insignificant, those votes add up. Eventually, they form a new version of you, one who doesn't rely on feelings to take action but relies on commitment. Consistency also builds momentum. Once you get into motion, it becomes harder to stop. The more mornings you conquer, the more powerful you feel. That momentum spills into every area of your life, your work, relationships, mindset, and goals. You start to realize that success is not about doing one big thing right, but about doing small things right every single day. Each morning becomes an opportunity to strengthen your character, sharpen your focus, and grow your confidence. It's easy to underestimate the power of one consistent morning, but over time, those mornings stack up into a lifestyle of control and achievement. You stop waiting for the perfect day to begin, and instead, you create it. One consistent action at a time. Discipline turns into identity, identity turns into strength, and strength turns into success. That's how ordinary mornings build extraordinary lives. Every single morning gives you a new chance to take control of your life. It's not about having the perfect routine, the perfect mindset, or the perfect plan. It's about choosing to show up for yourself before the world demands anything from you. Your mornings are your reset button, your foundation, and your opportunity to prove to yourself that you are in charge. When you stop hitting snooze, when you choose action over hesitation, when you protect your focus and stay consistent with your habits, you are doing far more than just starting your day. You are designing your future. Every morning you rise with intention. You're building self-trust. You're telling yourself, I keep promises to me. That trust becomes confidence. That confidence becomes momentum. And that momentum becomes unstoppable progress. The world will always have distractions, comfort, and excuses waiting for you. But the power to decide who you will be each day lies in your hands the moment that alarm goes off. You don't need motivation, you need movement. You don't need perfection, you need progress. So tomorrow morning, when you hear that alarm, remember this, it's not just a sound, it's an invitation to take control of your mind, your time, and your destiny. Don't let comfort steal your potential. Don't let hesitation win. Stand up, take a breath, and remind yourself, this is my day. I decide how it goes. Because once you take control of your morning, you take control of your life. Thank you for being here, for investing your time, and for choosing growth over comfort. You have the power to shape your days, your habits, and your future. Every single sunrise is a new beginning, so make it count. Start tomorrow strong, stay consistent, and never forget, the way you begin your day determines the way you live your life. Thank you for watching, for listening, and for showing up for yourself today. Now go and take charge of your morning, because your morning decides everything.